So we are going to start with the quick hair tutorial for the Youth Shazam team. Here are some of the products that I may use or just may recommend. To start, I'm going to pull Josie's hair back in a high ponytail. Now she has a lot of hair. She has thick hair and it's very long, but luckily it's still kind of thin at the root, especially when it's already flat ironed. So I'm going to start by just gathering her hair. And as you can see, as I gather her hair tangles very quickly. So you can use either one of these detangling brushes like this, or a nice wet brush. And I like to get those tangles out as I work along so that I don't have problems with them later. And I'm going to get everything up here really high. And I'm going to start with 2 ponytail holders. Now you may or may not have to use 2 ponytail holders on your daughter's hair, but I definitely have to use them on hers because, like I said, she has thick hair. And I'm going to wrap them around 3 times. However, as you see, she's got all of these beady bees hanging out, so that's not going to happen. So what I would suggest you do next is that you can use a gel. Now, this is a regular clear gel. It does have some glitter to it. She likes for me to use this one at the end of her hair. And this one is a black gel. So if you have dark hair, I recommend you using a black gel because if it happens to flake at all, it's going to flake black, not white. You can find this at Walmart for like $1.88 and it'll last you a decade. So I'm going to take a little bit. That's a little bit for me. I'm going to rub it in my hands. And move her hair around. I'm just going to get it all over. And I'm going to start with a nice hard brush. She actually hates this part.
I love this part.
Yeah, okay. And I'm going to go all the way around and smooth it out. And I'm going to take another group of gel and just smooth on top of that again because I know how her hair is. Now sometimes I may add a little tiny bit of water to the brush and go over the gel with a little bit of water. However, since her hair is flat ironed, it will curl up if I do that too much. So if you have to flat iron your daughter's hair, then you might not want to do that. And I'm going to go back over. I took the ponytail holder out now. It was just there for a guide. And now I'm going to brush all her hair up really tight. One more time. Nice and smooth all the way around. 2 hair ties. You want to make sure they're at the top of her head. So if it's on your head, it would be here. So from her, it would be right about where her fingers touch in the middle. So it should be nice and high. Three times. That's nice and tight. And I'm going to comb out her ponytail. Now, if you notice that you have a lot of bumps or anything back here, that means that you did not get all the tangles out while you were doing it. That may not bother you. That would drive me crazy. So I would be taking it back out and doing it again. However, we are in good position. So I'm going to apply a last little bit of gel, of the black gel. One last smoothing. And I'm going to do that part. So next, what I'm going to do is that if her hair happens to be dry, I would use just a little tiny bit of coconut oil or this heat protectant. So if you have frizzy hair, this might be good to use. If you have fine hair, I wouldn't suggest you use it. If you have fine hair, you might want to use a heat protectant like Hot Curls. There's a lot of other heat protectants out there. And you're going to want to just go ahead and spray. I haven't used this one in a while because I don't really use this one on her hair because this one's water-based. And again, her hair is flat iron. So that means that when you use water-based products on hair that's naturally curly, after you flat ironed it, it's just going to make them curly again. But we just use it a little bit. So what I usually use is our heat protectant spray, which smells really good. And then I'll pull with the flat iron. I'm going to show you two different ways to curl the hair. So I will pull with the flat iron, and then as I get to the ends, I'm just going to curl it back. So I want just a little bit more curl, so I'm just going to go in like that. And that gives you that bottom curl.
And where is that steam coming from?
The steam is coming from the heat protector.
Not her hair.
Not her hair. I'm not burning her hair, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to do another section. And as you see, I'm just curling it right at the end. And there you go. And I'm also kind of picky about it being too frizzy at the end. So you can see curls right just at the end. Another method that you can use, or two methods, I'm going to show you two methods on one unit because I don't have my other one anymore, is if you were to use a curling iron, you would still do basically the same thing you would, especially if you're old school before flat irons were everything. And then you would just curl right at the end. And what I do is I just keep pulling as I'm curling so it just does the spiral at the end. You could go in a little bit more and then just let it work itself up. Okay? If you were to use a barrel iron, which basically is a curling iron without the clip, then you're going to use it just a little different. And this is where I would actually recommend that if you have it, you use it, which would be a heat glove. Because when I first started using a barrel iron on my older daughter's hair, I actually burnt my hands every single comb. So you would start down about where you want to get the curl. And then you would just turn it around and twist it around all the way to the thing. And then you would just hold it there. This is why I don't care too much for a barrel iron anymore. But they do work great. And then it does like that. So there's three methods for you to do it. However, I'm going to use my preferred method, which is the flat iron. And I like the flat iron because, again, her hair is flat iron straight. So the best thing I can do with the flat iron is I can straighten her hair and curl it at the same time, saving me time. And it smooths her hair. I just reversed that one, so that was smart. There we go. So I'm going to just keep working through this. Okay, so now we have all the curls done. So another thing that I like to do is to give her height. So I'm going to add a couple more hair ties. That's 1, 2, and I'll do one more, 3. Then before I put her scrunchie on, I'm going to bump right up here at the top, make sure there's no hair sticking all over the place. And I'm going to go and use her little special gel that she likes that has a little bit of glitter in it. And sometimes I might go over this with a smoothing brush but I'll just go over it with my regular brush. So smoothing brush looks just like this, but it's soft. So I'll do that, and then put her hair tie in, and I pull the scrunchiness forward on both parts because you're not going to see the back, so it doesn't need to be in the back. And then also, you know, they're going to be there for a few hours, so hitting it with some spray doesn't hurt, but you want to make sure that you're using a spray that's good for this type of thing. Look at that, her baby hair. Drive me crazy. So if we were going to travel, or say I have to do her hair really early, I might put a silk scarf around her, tie it in the back. If you tie it in the front, you're going to leave a dent here, but I would tie it in the back, and that way it can just be smooth, especially because this girl likes to move her head all around in the car, and then I'll have the whole BDB back in the kitchen. So if you don't know, BDBs are naps, and we don't like naps. Flyaways. So the goal is to not have flyaways, to be nice and smooth, and to have a good curl in the back. Josie, once you turn your head, just a little bit of curl at the bottom, and you're done.